Hi everyone, welcome into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and today we are featuring the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. Our first guest happens to be Todd Pillars with Todd Pillars Photography. Very well known in the community.
Thank you so much.
And so welcome to the show again today.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm happy to be here.
And I know you're really excited because you are launching, finally, you're stepping into your dream, right?
I am.
Todd Pillars Photography, you're launching that. You have your brand new studio.
Yep.
Tell me all about it.
So it has been a dream of mine to have a studio for a while, and through the Palm Harbor Chamber, through just being out in volunteering for some photography work, and then making that transition, I'm able to open my new studio. It's at 410 Orange Street in Palm Harbor, Ozona. If people are familiar with where the Molly Goodheads and Ozona Pig is, I'm down in that little eclectic area there in Ozona, and just happy to be there.
You know, it's really exciting. Just before the show, we were discussing how important photography is. Even though we have the benefits of the digital age and our cell phones, our iPads and all of that, there's nothing like something tangible that you can pick up, you can touch, you can feel, and you can go back in all those memories, right?
Right. And so that's what we used to do. We used to go visit with family, and they'd have the photo album would be on the coffee table, and we would go through and we look at our family in history. And then with cell phones and inexpensive digital cameras, we started snapping pictures, but they stay on the phone, or they stay on the thumb drive that we burn to a disk and put into a desk drawer. Right. And then, unfortunately, when something happens to a loved one, we don't know where those images are. We were searching around in there. So that really is what prompted me to open the studio, is to get those legacy portraits, to create those once-in-a-lifetime memories and capture them and then print them.
Yes.
So I print all of my images for my customers.
And you know, another thing is really treasuring these photographs and these memories. You know, once a happening goes on in one's life, if it's not captured through photography, that moment in time, it's gone. It's gone forever.
Almost doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't. And as I reflect back to the many years of being married and raising kids, all those pictures are so near and dear to me. And you just never know when your kids will, when they grow up and they're adults, they have grandbabies, they come over, they want to go through them. They want to go through them. They want to remember their childhood and relive it. Not to mention putting those photographs that are in a frame, beautiful frame, that you can really adorn and decorate in your home. There's nothing like having those great memories. Right.
And so being originally from the Midwest, we had kind of the legacy wall, or always in this, either the stairwell or the hallway going into the kitchen. And it was your first grade picture and your sixth grade picture and your high school graduation photo, and then all of the family, and we have very diverse families from all over the country. So we are very blessed to live in paradise here in Florida. People do visit often, so that's a great time to get the family together. And whether it's on the beach or in one of our beautiful parks in the area, get that family portrait done and then get it up on the wall.
That's the truth, and you're so right about that. You have a built-in studio, no matter where you go, inside or outside, and people can come to you as well. Let me ask you, as far as families that are looking to build maybe their legacy wall all in one great photo or a collage, is that something that you can work with them?
Absolutely. The other thing that kind of sets me apart from some of the other photographers is I touch every photo. So I go through, and there is no bad photo. If there is, it's out the door or deleted. And so we can go back through, whether it's through scanning or even digital prints and turn them into physical prints in the studio. That's what we do. And if someone wanted to map that out on the wall, I'd be happy to help them do that.
You know, this is not a dying art. It just keeps resurging. It's a gift that is always going to keep on giving. And I can't think of a better way than to give the gift of a photography, a special moment. You know, and you're doing weddings, of course. course.
Well,
yes?
actually, no.
No, you're not.
I don't. I have a very good wedding photographer that I do refer that business to. So I focus primarily on women, in capturing their once in a lifetime moments. So the fantastic 40, the fabulous 50, the sexy 60, and the strong 70.
He's got this going on.
So and these are they're primarily caregivers all their life. Their kids are first, and so to come into the studio and do hair and makeup and do a legacy, almost a Vogue cover shoot, that's an experience for them.
And I'm glad that you said that. That's a great description. It's an experience.
It is.
I just turned 70. Just turned it, and I don't know what happened, but I feel like I'm starting my life all over again. So I can relate to what you're saying. But imagine, for some of you out there that maybe has not had one of these exquisite glamour photos, Todd touches every single one of them, and there's a lot to be said for that. Rather than having a whole crew where it gets passed down and something may slip through the crack, you look at every single photo and you say there's no bad photos. This man knows what he's doing. How long have you been doing photography?
So since 2009. I picked up a camera for the same reason that many do. I had a child, my daughter was born, and she was about 6 months old, and I was in between careers at the time, so I picked up the camera, and I also wanted one that did video, because I knew that kind of video was the future. And I started chasing around my daughter, and then my son was born, and then they got really tired of me taking pictures of them.
They start running to hide.
They did. They're just, but they do have the poses down. They've got that.
Oh yeah, they get that real quick, don't they?
They do. They do. And then so also photography as a hobby can get fairly expensive fairly quickly. And so I looked at the bag of equipment and I said to myself, what if I buy one more piece, one more lens, one more camera body, I'm going to need to figure out a way to pay for this.
To support this habit.
Yeah.
And it's a good habit.
It is. It's a very creative outlet. And so in looking at, again, what other photographers were doing from the business of photography, frankly, it's been devalued with cell phones and with inexpensive point-and-shoot cameras. Some would say that and I believe it was either Wired magazine that said for the mom business, just because you get a digital camera doesn't mean you have to start a business. So it was looking at the profession of photography, and it's been undervalued for quite some time. And so it's not about the picture itself. The picture is a digital image that really doesn't have much worth, but it is the experience that goes along with that. And it is the print. It is it is holding on to that. And there's from fine art paper to high gloss magazine prints. There's different levels of this. So that's again, that's what we focus on, is the experience and making a memory.
What a gift! What a great gift to give to someone, to have that experience. And with all those different elements, I'm guessing with the photography, the equipment that you use, it's probably, for lack of a better explanation, it's easier for you to tweak those pictures right down to the nth degree, as opposed to using, the iPhone. And they do take really good pictures. They do.
They're high megapixel, but they're very small sensors, and that's the kind of the difference. The images I can print up to 40 by 60 inches.
Wow.
So the print that we have here today is a 13 by 19. It's framed to 16 by 20, or matted to 16 by 24, and then framed. But we can go all the way up to what's it, my math? 3'4" by almost. It was just a 40 by 60.
Well, that would be really good for business owners, right? That want to have their pictures, those big stand-ups for displays and events and things like that.
For that, and so we do some branding for that. But again, here in Florida, we have some big walls. We have high ceilings, the waterfront properties. So once you put an 8 by 10 even, which historically that's kind of the headshot size and what people are used to framing. Once you put that on a wall that's 22 feet wide,
sure,
it's a postage stamp size
exactly.
print.
It's out of balance, totally out of balance.
It is.
I understand that.
So if if we do 30 by 40 or 40 by 60, fill up the sometimes 2-story walls for that. It's again great way for legacy portraits, for family portraits.
You know, I love you referring to legacy portraits because I haven't heard that in such a while. But it just brings back these memories when you're talking about the 2-story, the staircases. Oh yeah, I had that when I was up in Michigan.
Yeah.
All my kids' pictures, and it took forever to try to get them on that wall. But it was always very warming when everyone would come over for the holidays, and they would see that, and then the kids would grow a little bit more, and then you'd add more, and before you know it, I mean, it becomes a decorating theme. It really does, with meaning, with love.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's impossible to not look, with fondness on those. And so, as our parents and our grandparents get older, as you mentioned, it's a great gift for them to capture them, and in a place of pride. So something like this print could go over a fireplace or on a mantle.
Sure.
It just celebrate those images and keep them fresh.
Keep them fresh, boy. That is for sure, and keep them updated as well.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Okay.
And now tell me again, what was it at the 40s? We have 1 minute.
It's the fantastic 40s, the fabulous 50s, the sexy 60s, and the strong 70s.
The strong and 70s.
I'm
going to contact you. I want that one done.
Awesome.
So how do we get a hold of you real quick?
Visit my website, toddpillars.com. And again, I'm down in at 410 Orange Street in Ozona at the studio there. You can stop in and see me anytime.
Remember, it's going to be an experience, and it will be a gift that will keep on giving. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back. More on My Chamber TV.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the community. Today we are featuring the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and what we do here is we raise the awareness on businesses in the community and why it's important for you to join the Chamber of Commerce. I happen to have a couple here who is from Kleer Title. I'm excited about that. I wanted to call you guys Mr. and Mrs. Kleer, but that didn't work, so I guess I'll introduce Lori Moots and Kert Rhodes. The right way, right?
Hello, good morning.
So good morning. A lot happening in real estate, and how important is it to have a clear title?
Absolutely.
Very important. I have 26 years experience.
Oh, very good.
So yeah, I can handle pretty much anything. So refinances, purchases, commercial transactions, reverse mortgages.
Very good. How about you?
Well, I'm the kind of say heartbeat of the marketing side of things.
Oh, okay. So
yes.
you push the marketing out there? And
correct.
Social media?
Kind of the marketing director. She's kind of the closing agent. So we kind of have our responsibilities, and we kind of mesh together and work well.
You put each of your strengths together.
Correct.
That's exactly right. His
that's
sales
excellent.
strength and my title experience.
And we need that in business today, right? Everybody has their own thing that they do. So isn't real estate wild and crazy right now?
It is, knock on wood.
Yeah, I know. I know. You're right about that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
So what kind of turnaround? Give us some just basic little, tips that what makes you a little bit different maybe than some other title companies.
Yeah, sure. So typically when a contract comes into our office, it can take 2 to 3 days to get a title search back. Our underwriter, we use First American Title Insurance, and they can turn it around really fast for us. Like we can order a search Friday afternoon and get it back on Monday afternoon.
That's
and
excellent.
if it's a cash deal, we're closing it on Wednesday.
Really?
So, yeah.
Hear that, guys and gals? That is magnificent because
it's
time
pretty
truly
amazing.
is of the essence today.
Yes,
Time is money.
Absolutely.
That's right. When somebody wants to get, they're coming down here from up north, especially they're paying cash for their house, and bada bing, bada boom. So their sale is only as good as the people behind them.
That is true, right?
Yeah.
And especially if a seller has a cash buyer, they want to get it closed.
Yeah,
They want to make sure they get it taken care of quick. So,
Question for you. Any kind of hurdles that you can kind of bring up without being specific to anyone that maybe our viewers could sort of, think about if they're thinking of buying or selling, what to look for, what to be prepared for, because it's a whole thing, buying or selling a home.
It's a process.
Yeah, it's a
Definitely
process.
it is a process, and I definitely think that sellers should definitely hire a real estate agent.
You were reading my mind.
Because there is
sure.
so many things that can go wrong, and then they'll have that person with the experience that can answer their questions and handle everything for them. And then of course that real estate agent would be in contact with a great title company like Kleer Title, and we would be able to help out and get the transaction done very smoothly and quickly.
You really took the words right out of my mouth, because I was going to ask you the importance of dealing with professionals.
Exactly.
There's reasons for why there's continuing education.
Right.
Correct.
Example, there are home buyers and home sellers out there that will entertain the thought of purchasing their home on their own.
Yes.
And trying to save on a commission, right?
Right.
Or a seller, for sale by owner. But I've seen this happen time and time again, and I'm sure you have as well. If you go and call that listing agent, the average person does not know that that listing agent is working for the seller.
Right, exactly.
Unless that's changed since the last time I checked.
If you're a buyer, you want to be represented by a buyer's agent to
Sure.
make sure that you're not getting taken advantage of and those types of things. Absolutely, it's very, very important.
And the same thing with a title company. I mean, there's many, many real estate agents, many, many brokers, as well as title companies.
Right.
So, it's important for you to listen to people that resonate with you, that make sense, and can really do that turnaround very quickly.
Yeah. When you work with Kleer Title, you're going to get the experience. I've based all my business for the past 26 years on referrals.
That's a blessing.
So people know me in this area for a really long time, and they know that when they drop that contract off at my office, that it's going to get handled the right way, and it's going to get done on time.
So you've got history. There's so much to be said for that.
Yeah.
Experience speaks volumes. I mean, we really try to pride ourselves on customer service and communication.
Customer service
is very important.
You're absolutely right. And realtors today, I can speak for them, if you get a phone call, you better get back on that phone and call them back immediately.
Absolutely.
Because they're going to be moving on, moving on, moving on. And I have a feeling that that's exactly what you do.
Our clients get our cell number and they can call me anytime. I've talked to clients on a Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
I might be on the boat, but I talk to them.
Who cares, right? You're getting it done.
Right, exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
When we got our business cards made, one of our clients said, "Hey, what's your office number?" You don't need the office number. Call Lori.
Best
Call
way.
myself. Call our cell phone numbers.
Why rely
It's that
on a middle
easy.
person?
Exactly.
Exactly.
You know, a listing agent may be at, a listing and they may need help with questions. Maybe somebody in the family who owned the home passed away. They don't know who signs the contract. Maybe they need my advice at that point.
Sure.
To answer those questions for them. And they know to call me and I'll answer the phone and answer the question.
And that's really important because when you do have more than one person as ownership, the trustees and all that, and you have like a family with siblings, and you need to, before you even go into that contract, you need to know who's on first.
Exactly.
Who-
So
legally.
we will do a title search in advance, to make sure that everyone who's signing the contract, and especially if you get a cash buyer, you want to close quickly, everything will be ready and handled way before,
Yeah,
way
that's
before it's time.
fabulous.
A lot of people want guidance because they don't know exactly what to do from A to Z. So when Lori is speaking to them or I'm speaking to them, we can kind of walk them through the process so they feel comfortable. Because, for example, someone buying a home, all you want to do is get into that house. They want to buy the house. They love that house.
Right.
And they might be selling a house. So there's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts. So we've got to make sure everybody's on the same page, the realtor, the inspector, us, mortgage broker, if you will.
A lot of moving parts.
So again, we're trying to make it as smooth as possible. So when they come to the closing table, they're happy, they're excited, they get their house, they get the keys, they move on, we give them hugs and kisses, and they move on to the next transaction.
Exactly, and that's really what I think a home buyer or seller is really looking for, is that teamwork, the team effort. Wouldn't you agree? If you're thinking of buying or selling, go to a team that's going to work for you, that is going to be right there getting the things done, because I know many years ago, times have changed.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I know way back when, 30-some years ago, it wasn't as strict as it is now. I mean, everything has to be exactly perfect. Perfect in the transaction, perfect in the paperwork. Even though it may be a little bit simpler now with the digital age, you still really need to be working with professionals, and professionals that care
Yes.
and that are going to communicate and be there for you. Now, Kert, on your end, on the marketing end, how do you push your Kleer title out there? I mean, you've been doing this for 26 years, all based on referrals?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So what do? Take her testimonials and push those out? What do you do?
Yes, but I like to communicate with people. I do a lot of networking for myself.
Oh, good.
And so I'm reaching out to different attorneys and the lawyers and realtors, investors as well, and kind of, come to our office, meet us.
Yes.
See if this is a good correlation, good environment for you. And if it is, we can move on. We can create a relationship. We can create a friendship.
Sure.
And it's worked out extremely well for us so far.
Isn't that true, though? It's not just a real estate transaction. It really does be. If you know what, if you're doing what you love and you love what you do, it's not even work.
There's a lot of pride in that.
Exactly.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's nice because we get a lot of cards in the mail, which we don't actually expect. Cards in the mail meaning, hey, thank you for helping us out. We really do appreciate it. And it's from Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Oh, yeah, I remember Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And they were super excited. They gave us hugs and kisses. But, you can't remember every single transaction.
Right.
But it's nice when you receive those in the mail 2-3 weeks down the road.
Isn't that great? And I mean, that's really what the satisfaction is in the work that you do, is when you're fulfilling a passion.
It feels good. It does.
And it's not just helping someone buy a home or sell a home. You're helping create a solution
Right.
for a challenge that
It's
they're
the
having.
biggest purchase you'll make
and so
in your life,
and
it's so stressful at the time.
Yes, intimate and emotional.
Exactly, and I like to make that process as smooth and happy as possible.
That is so true. I hear that moving the stress of moving is up there with death and divorce.
Yes.
So anytime that you can get help with professionals, that's really way to do it.
And we do it every day, so we
Yeah.
really love it.
Yeah. And I bet you have never had two transactions alike. Isn't everything different?
Actually,
everything's different.
Everyone is different. That is absolutely correct. They're all different. It's all like a little book.
We'll let you know when that happens, but you probably won't get a call from me.
Well, you're right. Every transaction is different. People are different, and you know, I'm sure you made a lot of friends in the community here in Palm Harbor. Where's your office again?
We are at Tampa Road and US 19. We're back by the Professional and Medical Center.
Oh, I know exactly where you are. So you're like right in the pulse of Palm Harbor.
We are, yes.
And how long have you been there?
We actually opened our doors on April 2nd, so we're a brand new company, but not with, you know, obviously
not with your experience.
Right, exactly. Right. And a lot of my clients that I've known for many years, like, were so excited that we opened, and
and they're actually bringing us more business, which is really cool.
but you, so when did you join the chamber? We only have about a minute or so remaining.
We joined the chamber just about about a month ago
and then we had a ribbon cutting on October 5th.
The ceremony.
See, they don't waste any time at all. And now here you're on My Chamber TV, and you know, this is for you to do, is to push this little segment out there everywhere.
It was a great experience. The chamber came out, and they did a really, really good job.
They
and we thank them
Skip
for
was
that.
amazing.
The whole organization was awesome.
And you're already starting to go to the events?
Yes.
Yeah, they're very powerful.
The mixers and what have you. Sure.
Oh, that's fabulous. Well, continued success. Good luck with you.
Thank you so much.
I don't think you really need the good luck. You've already created that for yourself.
We'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I certainly hope that you'll get a hold of these two if you want to find out more information on a Kleer title, because that's the name of their business right here in the heart of Palm Harbor. And we're going to be taking a break, and we'll be right back. More from My Chamber TV.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the community right here in Palm Harbor. We are featuring the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce with some great business owners here. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and sitting to my right is Mr. Nick Acosta with Lively Real Estate. Hey Nick.
Good morning, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic.
It's so nice for you to come on the show and share what's happening in real estate. Now I understand you're also a brand new member with the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, we actually had our office in Tarpon Springs and we just moved over to Palm Harbor. So we're brand new to the Chamber of Commerce and trying to get our feet wet and trying to get involved.
Well, that's exciting. You know, just before the show, we were talking about that. So they had their office in a different location. When they moved here to Palm Harbor, they immediately joined the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce because you know all of the features and benefits, the plethora of different events that are going on, and you get to come on My Chamber TV.
Well, that's a good thing. I've been looking forward to this to some degree, but I think it's great to be a part of the Chamber of Commerce. Obviously, you get to network with a lot of the different business, and you get to leverage from a lot of resources that are available in real estate. As you well know, it's all about connecting and meeting new people.
You know, it is, and I love the word leverage. That is so critical in business today, is how you leverage your business, and that's exactly what we're doing right here through video. And we're excited to be able to do that because we're able to raise the awareness on the internet, on social media, as you will, in what's happening out there to get your branding, your name, with Lively Real Estate. Real estate is like, it's crazy right now, isn't it?
Absolutely, and we love that it's crazy.
Yeah, because it's exciting.
Absolutely, you know, it's a lot of things going on in the market. We've seen a great shifts over the last 3 or 4 years. We've been involved in a heavy seller's market, and we still see that today, but we do believe that the seller's market or the market itself is shifting.
Yes.
So 2019, we still believe it's going to be a strong year.
I'm excited to hear that too, and there's so many people moving to Florida. It's just a big boom, and I haven't seen that in so long with new construction. You dealing with new construction?
Yes, we deal with some new construction. Obviously, there's not a lot of new construction in Palm Harbor.
Right.
Pretty much even in North Pinellas, as you can say.
Exactly.
It's pretty much built out. So, but we do leverage because we are a full-service real estate office, and we cover all of the Pinellas, not only the Pinellas area, I should say. We cover Pinellas, Hillsborough, Pasco, and even go out as far as Sarasota and Hernando if we need to.
It's exciting to hear all of that and how you do leverage. Now, do you have like a specialty in your office?
No, pretty much we have a well-diversified amount of real estate agents that we both represent buyers and sellers. I myself pretty much now probably about 50% between buyers and sellers. I've been in real estate now for 8 years after transitioning from the corporate world.
Oh boy.
So, but I do enjoy representing both buyers and sellers. I'm okay with both.
Yeah, that's really good. Do you find that in real estate in the 8 years experience? Well, I'm sure you've seen the different shifts in 8 years too, obviously.
Well, when I first started, the market was at the very bottom. And one of the reasons why I started in real estate was after coming from corporate banking for about 25 years, I wanted to go ahead and do something different so that I can see my third child grow up. I didn't see my first two grow up. So I said, let's look at a business sector that is historically, let's say, either has been going down or up. Real estate has been going down, so I figure I'd catch the wave over the next 10, 15 years. And it's been a good move, so I'm very fortunate.
Wow.
And I'm glad I've been here.
And that's exciting because you can really pretty much make your own hours. And how old are your children now?
I have a 24-year-old who's getting ready to get her master's degree at UCF in business management. I have a 21-year-old who took a year off, got her AA degree, but now it's relocating to New York City to attend Fashion Institute of Technology. And then I have little Sophia, a 10-year-old girl who is just as happy as can be and keeps us all young.
Oh, that is fabulous. Well, you certainly have set a great example as a dad and in business as well. So that was a change coming from corporate America in banking, but I'm sure that there was a transition there was a familiarity there that you all obviously use in real estate.
Absolutely. Strong customer service background, dealing with lots of different people.
Yeah.
I think I've been able to transition very well because it helps me deal with anyone that's looking to be in part of real estate.
Sure.
It doesn't matter whether they're a buyer for $100,000 or a buyer for $1 million, or conversely, if they're a seller as well. As I mentioned, having 2 older girls, I did not see them grow up. It was always in the office, 60, 70 hours. So getting back to your initial question of flexibility, yeah, I love the flexibility because I'm able to see my 10-year-old grow and the different milestones. But at the end of the day, real estate is a tough market. You have to be ready at all times, all day, all 7 days a week.
Yep.
Because if you're not ready, someone else will be ready for you.
Oh, that's right, and that is definitely the way it is today. And we're told you better if somebody calls you, you got to answer that phone or get back to them immediately, right?
Absolutely.
None of this I'll call you back or making them wait for 24 hours or anything like that, because they want an answer right now. What's available? You know, I'm ready to buy. Are you finding that you're getting a lot of snowbirds coming down here and settling in?
Well, it's a great question, because we're right now in that time of the year where snowbirds start coming down, preparing themselves for being a retirement and being in their new home on the beach, coming between January, right after the holidays. So they look forward to this time of the year. It's a little bit of a shift, because we now start seeing more activities on condos, where prior to, let's say, spring through fall, we see a lot more activity with single-family homes.
Exactly, exactly. And I've noticed too that there's younger couples that are moving down here. They want to come down to be with their families and maybe even start a new career. And so it's exciting to see that more families are even coming to Florida to be together, and that even increases more sales, whether it be in new construction, which, like you say, I mean, Palm Harbor is pretty well built out.
Correct.
But there's always those resales for people to take a look at. And I think it's exciting, really exciting to see what's happening with the market here. And with your experience, 8 years and 20-some years with banking and all that, and I can see that you're really enjoying what you're doing.
I do. I really enjoy. I mean, there's nothing better than to help buyers, especially first-time home buyers, get into their new home. You take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the price tier is.
Sure.
At the end of the day, it's their next dream home, and when it's your next dream home, that's where you create love, laughter, memories forever. So I'm indifferent as to what type of buyer it is, and I love being at that closing table and making it come to fruition, and everything has connected.
There's something very satisfying and gratifying as a licensed realtor, because when you put your heart into it, and you make friends, you make relationships, and I bet you are getting decent referral business because of your passion for what you're doing.
Absolutely. I mean, the real estate business is kind of based on referrals, word of mouth. And I think as you start getting into the business, you'll realize that a lot of your business is referral or repeat customers.
Yes.
And that's kind of a testament of what you've done in the past with your initial customers. If you did a good enough job, they will come back to you and maintain that loyalty. But it's also imperative that you stay in touch with them. You do the follow-up, you send the greeting cards, birthdays, whatever it is, you need to keep a pulse with your customers, because there are always other agents there. You know, I'm very proud to work with Lively Real Estate. You know, we're a full service company, independently owned. Bob Lively is our broker owner. We have about 30 agents that are highly productive, and we're not the big franchise type real estate office, but we have agents that are very happy. It's like a small family, and I really enjoy working there. Our agents have different designations. For example, I am a broker associate. We have 3 or 4 other broker associates in the office. We have different designations. I myself have a GRI, Graduate Realtor Institution designation. I also have a real estate negotiation expert designation. And I really enjoy real estate. It's great, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, you know, that's really half the battle, is enjoying what you're doing. And I know we've talked about it time and time again, the importance of allowing a realtor to represent you, whether you are a seller or a buyer. There's reason for the continuing education every couple of years for what you have to go through. And the average person really isn't schooled in who's representing who. And when you bring that up to them, they go, what? What do you mean?
Absolutely.
So that's why I always like to point that out, that it's important to work with somebody who's licensed, knows what they're doing, because if you call a listing agent on a home, that listing agent is basically working for the seller. And, right, have you run into that?
Absolutely. I mean, customers have to be aware that if you want to have a buyer's agent to represent you, because at the end of the day, a listing agent hires a seller's agent or a listing agent, and they're going to work in their best interest.
Yes.
So you do want to have buyer representation. You want to have a real estate agent who's familiar with the market, who's going to negotiate on your behalf, and you know that they're going to bat for you at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely, because purchasing a home or selling a home, especially if you've been in a home for any length of time, especially for us gals, it's our nest. It's really our nest. And I hear the statistics are that moving, the whole task of moving, the stress of that is up there with death and divorce. So to be able to work with somebody like yourself, a licensed realtor that really knows all the bells and whistles, what to do, what not to do, and help just kind of lead the way, that to me is music to our ears. That way we can turn it over to you and, you know, we fill in the blanks and we go according to what the comps are, not what we think our home is worth, right?
Exactly,
right?
exactly. You have to get the emotion aspect out of the transaction.
Yes,
But yes, relocation, moving, it's very overwhelming. The entire process of purchasing a home is a major decision. It's probably one of the biggest expenses that you'll ever make. So yes, you want to have a very well qualified agent. I took it personally that I was not just going to be an agent that opens doors. I wanted to have a continuous education, and thus the reason why I got the extra designations and also got my broker's license as well. I find it very important that you go up and beyond and you think out of the box. And I think that when you do that, you feel and you make your buyers feel comfortable that you can take them step by step, because there's a lot of steps and it's very, very overwhelming for buyers, and you want to manage them accordingly.
Yes, you want to take that overwhelm out, absolutely. And congratulations on all that continuing education.
Well, thank you.
Now, this man, Nick, really knows what he's doing. He furthers his education. He's staying on the pulse of the market, right?
Very important.
Staying on
Very
the pulse of the market. And if you don't have somebody that's licensed that is on the pulse of the market, you may not be getting the best service. So call Nick. Nick Acosta is with Lively Real Estate, and he's right here in Palm Harbor.
And let me tell you, Lively Real Estate is amazing. We are A+ rated of the Better Business Bureau. We are also at the top reviews of the Google rankings.
Awesome.
We have also earned customer service for Angie's List over the last couple of years. We have been recognized by the Tampa Bay area in terms of one of the top business in the area for gross sales based on closed sales.
Well, good. That's awesome. We have to go, and I could have you here all day long,
yes,
Nick.
absolutely.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the community right here in Palm Harbor, and we are featuring the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce today. So we're going to continue on interviewing our business owners. In fact, one is Keenan Knopke with Curlew Hills. It's great to have you back again.
Nice to be here.
We interviewed you with another chamber. You get around in the community, don't you?
Try to.
Yeah. Well, you've got a great cemetery over there with great services, and I understand you do a lot, maybe a little bit more than some. So tell me about it.
Well, at the cemetery we have a funeral home and crematory. We also have a pet cemetery, which is kind of unique.
Right.
Not many people have one of those things.
Yeah, exactly. So you know what? I'm going to just be honest. It's a little bit hard to talk about, cemeteries and all. So let's bring it up and tell us why we want to come there. Well, besides one reason, but anyway.
The reason to come to Curlew from other places is, one, it's family owned. It's locally owned and managed.
Very good.
Has been since its beginning. Has no problems, no plans to change in the future. It's also a very beautiful place. It's not the biggest in the world, never will be, but it's very unique. We've got otters and eagles and ospreys, along with squirrels and even a couple of coyotes.
Aww.
So we've got quite an array of different things to come and visit. But the most important part, it's just a peaceful place. It's
bingo.
The cemetery sits behind our administration building and our funeral home, and it breaks the noise from Curlew Road.
That's right.
And so it's really pretty peaceful.
Very nice. And I understand, didn't you have some an event over there?
Well,
which we talked about the last time, or you're about to.
No, we have Veterans Day just last weekend, last Sunday, but we also have Memorial Day in May, and then our big 9/11 ceremony on September 11th.
So how long have you been doing that?
9/11 ceremony, coming up in 19 will be our 11th year.
Very nice.
And we have a 125-pound piece of steel, 2 towers. We acknowledged everything that happened on that day. The death or the loss of the 343 firemen, all the police officers, Port Authority, as well as the only canine that died that day that was on active duty. And he is not memorialized anywhere but in Palm Harbor.
Wow. That is really nice. That is nice for the heart to see that there.
It's nice for the heart, but it's also nice for the people that live here that have connections in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And that's huge in Palm Harbor and Dunedin and Tarpon Springs.
Yeah.
So.
It's amazing when tragedy comes together, so do the American people. And
it is amazing. It's how it's always done it. Hopefully it will continue to do that in the future.
Hopefully, and even though a tragedy may happen, we all come together and continue, just like what you're doing. You've been doing these ceremonies year after year, so congratulations on that.
Well, thank you.
Getting back to your services at the cemetery, the funeral home and all, do you do any type of life celebrations there?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Most everything today is a life celebration and not a funeral.
Yeah, yeah.
Life celebration can be just about anything you want to do. There are no boundaries to it, and sometimes the remains of the deceased are present, either in a casket or in an urn, and many times they're not. Because the celebration of life is to focus on the memory, but also the wonderful things that occurred during that lifetime.
Exactly. Is there anything you can give to our viewers that if they wanted to contact you to make arrangements ahead of time? It's always kind of like a touchy subject for doing something like that.
Well, we encourage people to do that. Make arrangements ahead of time, simply from the standpoint,
you know what you're picking out. You know what you're getting at that point. Quick story, my mother, before she died, told myself, my brother, and my sister what we thought she wanted. What she turned out doing was telling us what we wanted to hear, not what she really wanted, which created an issue when she died. So we worked it out. We're still friends and talk to each other and all that good stuff, but we see every day families that have loved ones that don't express their ideas and they don't make arrangements on their own. And the family's sitting there wondering, well, what do we do? Well, mom told me this or dad said that. Well, no, that's not right. You know, and the finger pointing starts and it gets ugly.
So this is really good to bring up. So I'm thinking that if there is more than one sibling in the family, obviously talk about ahead of time, sort of come to a meeting of the minds on what mom wants or dad wants.
Well, if at all possible, mom or dad come in and make that decision themselves.
Sure.
If they can't, then everybody get together, even if it's within hours of the death. Everybody get together and say, here's what we think we want to do. So we've got that idea. If not, it can get ugly.
Sure.
We don't like to be referees. We're not trained to be referees.
Sure.
But the best thing to do is to plan it well in advance. When you do plan it well in advance, anything's an option. You can be as creative with your celebration of life as you can imagine.
Yes, absolutely. And I think when it's planned ahead of time, it's already done. The family doesn't have to be concerned about it because it's challenging and emotionally enough going through the grief and then have to decide on this and that and the costs involved and it just the whole picture of it all. So to be able to plan it ahead of time, if that's the ultimate, the optimal idea, I think when someone passes, then it's maybe a little bit easier to go ahead and plan on that life celebration.
Well, it is because the business side is done.
Yes.
Business side is the financial side, and when plans aren't made, you look around the room and say, well, wonder who's going to step up because, not everybody can. It makes it easier. It allows you to mourn if you're going to mourn, or plan that celebration of life or that party that you're going to have in memory of. The business side is no different in any business. There's a financial side that stresses everybody. If you're buying a new car, you're excited about driving off that lot.
Sure.
Forget about what you went through. The same thing whether you're buying furniture or anything else. A funeral is more emotional, obviously, than any of that, but it's still got the same components. It's a business. And we think we do it real well. In fact, we know we do. And we encourage people to pre-plan and get it taken care of.
Pre-planning definitely sounds like the way to go. Something just left my mind that I wanted to ask you about. It'll come back later. Senior moment, right?
Okay. I have those too.
It's okay. At least we're still having them, right?
As long as you're having them, that's great.
So anything else that you can share? You have a pet cemetery there.
Yes.
And crematory. Or both?
A human crematory and a pet cemetery. We don't have a pet crematory.
Okay. But you do have a pet cemetery.
Yes.
So what if someone has the ashes of their pet? Can they still
They can place them in, they can bring them to us.
Okay.
We arrange pet cremations, but we just don't do it ourselves on site.
Okay.
Just the same as they can bring their pet. We've got dogs and cats and ferrets and parrots, cockatiels, and a whole lot more in our pet cemetery.
Wow.
And the neat part about our pet cemeteries is it'll always be a pet cemetery. There are no regulatory requirements for a pet cemetery, so pet cemetery today, condominiums next year.
Oh,
We've set ours up in a way that it is similar to human cemetery regulation. So we've dedicated the fact that it will always be a pet cemetery. We've set up a care fund for it, and so forth.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's fabulous. So that's really good to know, because when we lose our pets, it's not pretty.
We lose our pets, it's worse than losing humans.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. Nothing against humans, but really, and sometimes it can be that.
Well, we fear, at least I do, I wonder, with humans, they understand the process. Do pets really understand or not? They look at you with those eyes and, you're thinking, how do I tell them they're dying? We're going to go on this drive. It's not a good feeling.
Yeah, it really isn't. But it's good that we have somebody like yourself over there at Curlew Hills, and it's right on Curlew Road. I know that I've been over there. It's been a long, long time. It was a sad occasion, as I mentioned to you before. But you're on Curlew Road.
Between Belcher and County Road 1 or Keene.
Okay, I know exactly where it is.
West of US 19.
So we only have a couple minutes remaining in closing. You've been a member with this Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce for how long?
Since it began.
Since it began?
Yes.
And what was that?
About 1980, if I remember correctly.
No kidding. Wow. So we could be here all day talking about your benefits of being a member of the Chamber. Can you give me one or two, though?
Well, as others have said, it's the networking, it's being part of the community, it's an opportunity for business to give back to the community through the Chamber.
Yeah.
And we support the Chamber immensely. We're heavily involved with all of them in the area. But Palm Harbor Chamber kind of sticks out as something special because it kind of started the same year we did.
Oh, that's really neat. Well, in this last minute, I just want to thank you for coming on. And in closing this segment, we just want to encourage you to reach out to this gentleman and get that pre-planning done, because think about it, it may be something to really save a lot of those extra stresses when someone passes in your family, and you really sound like you have it all there. And the one thing that triggered me was when you said that when you go there to visit your loved ones and pay respect, it's like nothing but nature, right?
That's correct.
In the Curlew Hills Cemetery, the whole area there, to me that's music to my ears, being one with nature either above ground or below ground. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
All right. I know I'm going to see you again. Thank you for joining us right here on My Chamber TV. We have more to come, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the community. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and today we are in Palm Harbor featuring the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. And it's exciting to interview some of the various business owners in the community to raise the awareness for who you can go to. And if you happen to be a business owner, you may want to join the Chamber of Commerce right here in Palm Harbor. Well, I have someone who I really want to love as a licensed realtor. You are Bruce Peavler with NPI, which is National Property Inspections. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
We want you to be good to us and approve. But you have quite a list of things that you have to go by when you're going out there doing those inspections, don't you?
We do. It's very thorough.
Yeah. I'm going to turn this show over to you because as a homeowner, whether you are thinking of buying a home or whether you own a home, listen to some of these things, because whether it's today you're going to sell your home or buy your home, listen to what he has to say. I'm just going to turn it over to you. What do we need to know as a homeowner or a home buyer?
Well, I think buying a property, as we've talked about, is a very emotional experience. And so my job is to take the emotions out of it and show you what the condition of the property is, good, bad, or ugly. Hopefully good, like you said. I think it's important for the home buyer to know what the issues are or what the issues may be with the property that they're purchasing. Obviously, it's a very big ticket item, so there's naturally some stress involved in the process. So we try to take the unknowns out and make those into knowns where possible.
Right, and it's not necessarily where we have to go into a transaction with negativity, like, oh, is it going to be inspected? Is it going to be okay? I mean, 9 times out of 10, it can be worked out. But the thing is working with a licensed realtor and working with someone like yourself who's been a professional. How long have you been in this business?
We've been doing inspections here in this area for about 20 years.
Okay.
So we also do commercial inspections. We do insurance inspections. We'll get into that later, though.
Oh, very good, very good. Because when it comes to an inspection, we've got to get that inspection. That's kind of critical from when we go to closing, right?
It is. And the other thing is, as you know, there's usually a 10 to 14 day inspection period. So there is a bit of a time crunch. We need to get that scheduled and get it done and get the report back quickly. So, and that's something that we take seriously, and we'll get that done for you.
I'm glad to hear that, and that's why I wanted to know about the amount of years that you have in this community, because I would guess that that is just as critical as working with a realtor that has a little bit of experience under their belt, or a title agent as well, or a mortgage person that really knows their stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah, I've had extensive training with gentlemen who ran the business before me. I have had training in Omaha, Nebraska, where our headquarters is. Of course, we do continuing education as well. But like you said, it's important to have somebody who knows what they're doing on all the ends of the transaction.
Sure. And especially on some of the older homes. You know, the roof situation, the air conditioning situation, the floor. There's so many variables. Termite. I mean, there's just so much that's mind-boggling.
There is a lot, absolutely true. And we do go into the crawl spaces. We go into the attics, on top of the roof. We take a thorough look at everything that we can put our eyes on. There's a lot to it. Typically it takes 2 or 3 hours to get through it. So, you know, we do have a good idea what the property is like by the time we're finished.
Sure. Let's go to the home seller. They're thinking of selling their home. Maybe they've been in it for 15 years, 20 years. What would you say to them? Can you give some little tips on where they can get started to maybe go on the parameters of their home, go inside? What can they look for to get ahead of the game, ahead of the listing?
Sure. We also do pre-listing inspections for that reason, and we'll do a thorough inspection to let them know what they may want to consider fixing before they list it. And what that will do is take some of the potential pitfalls away of finding a future buyer, and because they're going to find those issues anyway, so it just makes it a smoother process typically. I mean, the seller can go through the property and just look for things themselves. A professional inspector is more likely to find issues that may be problematic for the transaction, though.
What about some of the things like outside the home, like landscaping? You might have some, and I don't know that you get into any of that in your inspections and all, but it just, with the homeowners association and how they help keep you up to date, like if you've got a tree that's getting ready to, do something that could be damaging to your home or somebody else's. I would, little things like that too outside the home that they can look at.
Sure, the exterior is important. One of the main things that we find are trees that are branches that are touching the roof or too close to the property, or bushes that are scraping the edge of the house. So one thing to keep in mind is to try to keep the vegetation trimmed away from the house where possible. That's probably the most common. Another idea would be tree roots that may end up causing cracks in the driveway and sidewalk. We see that as well.
Yes.
It's fairly common.
It is, especially when the builders put those little baby trees in way close to the sidewalk. Oh, I can relate to that.
Planting is always good for planting trees.
Exactly. So on the other side of the coin, with a buyer, can you give us a few tips for what the buyers should be kind of looking for prior to all of that, just as they get started, especially like a first-time home buyer, but they're looking into a pre-owned home?
Sure. And the average buyer looks at, as you know, 10 to 20 properties, and they all sort of blend together, so that they don't really take a look at as in-depth as we will. They'll look at the paint color and some of the superficial things. Which is, again, why it's important to have a licensed home inspector take a deeper dive into the property. I wouldn't really recommend that the homeowner be looking for those things. They're looking for a house that they'll be comfortable in, that fits their needs. It's our job to look at the nuts and bolts and the bones of the house. So we look at obviously the outside. We talked about the exterior. We look at the structure, the foundation. We look at the roof. We look at the HVAC system, the plumbing system. We look at just everything you can imagine, essentially. We'll inspect the pool if there is one, the fencing, the grounds, the slope of the grounds. So there's just a number of things that we look at, but we'll be happy to take care of that for the buyer.
When you're thinking about buying a home, if a homeowner has already had a home, we kind of know what to look for based on maybe some of the challenges that we've had, and so we're in tune to that. But when they're looking for a home, and you're right, they want what they want. But since I'm going to ask you this question because I've seen the changes over time in Florida here, especially with our crazy weather, the heat, the this, the that, right? So you've been doing this for 20 years. In the last 20 years, what have you seen that could be majorly effective in purchasing home in a home that's 20 years or more?
Majorly effective?
That you want to really hone in on, like, would it be the roof? Would it be, anything that you've come across more times than not?
The roof obviously is important, and you look at the age and the condition of the roof. That's something that's critical, absolutely. One thing that I would point out, you talked about the changes over time in the market. We've seen more flipping lately, I think, because of the nature of the market. And some flips are done well, some are not. I've inspected a few houses that have not been, and it's fairly apparent once you take a closer look at some of the flaws in the way that things have been done. So you have to be a little bit cautious when you're looking at properties, and once you're contracted, you need to really pay attention to what's going on.
And I'm glad that you said that, especially when you go to contract. Some homes have required more than one air conditioner to keep up with the power in a home. Maybe they have added, remodeled and added some square footage to it, or maybe one air conditioner was installed as new and the other one got old, but we don't know that as a buyer, right? So those are kind of the things that we rely on somebody professional like yourself to pick up on that.
That is true, and we will note the age and the condition of the units. We sometimes see newer condensers, for example, and older air handlers that are paired together. So
that's what I was looking for, right there.
We've even seen situations where the buyer will go in before the closing and replace a newer unit with an older unit. So, but we do, it happens. We do record the serial number so that there is a record of that. I mean, there are, unfortunately, some people play games and shenanigans do go on. So, but
that's why I wanted to kind of stir that pot so we can, put that out there and all.
Sure.
Well, it sounds like you're doing what you enjoy doing for sure, to be doing it for 20 years, especially in the volatile markets that it has been, the ups, the downs, the yikes, what's going on here? Is it a seller's market? Is it a buyer's market? What is it?
It's interesting. It's interesting. We see different things all the time out there. So.
Yeah, and I bet no two transactions are alike, right?
That is absolutely true.
Well, I want to thank you, Bruce, for joining us today.
Thank you, Barbara.
Yeah, and continued success and continued work. And let's hope that this real estate keeps on going the way it is. And of course, definitely, all kidding aside, make sure that you're working with licensed professionals. And we know we have some of those people that come around here in Florida. We're known for that. Yes. Where just be very careful with who you work with. And you know what? That's one reason why, being a member of the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce, you have those licensed professionals. And if you are out there running your business, go contact someone over at the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. You are a member there, and you've been a member since they opened. I mean, you're like a lifer.
Actually, no. I've met Skip.
Oh, really?
I've only been in the chamber for about a year. I met Skip at an event about a year ago. So, but the group is fantastic. I can't say enough things about the Palm Harbor Chamber.
And you get involved with all the community efforts and events, too.
As much as I can. The events are fantastic, absolutely.
They are. They are. Skip's awesome. He puts together some great events. I want to thank you. Time to go.
Okay.
All right. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Hi everyone, welcome into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the community right here in Palm Harbor. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and we're featuring the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. And our next guest happens to be Anthony Trizzino with Connect Hearing. Hello, my sir.
Hello to you.
It's great to have you with us today.
Nice to be here.
Now, you're in a business that, especially down here in Florida, we kind of need to hear what people are saying. It's a very stressful thing when we can't.
Yes.
So I want you to tell me all about your business and what makes you different than any other.
What makes us different is we're a full-service hearing center.
Okay.
What sets us apart is we do a trial in up to 2 weeks for people that are maybe on the fence or not sure if they want to take the plunge or just want to check it out. There's no obligation, there's no fees involved, so it's a nice way to kind of get your feet wet and decide, you know, if it's going to work out for you.
So there must be different styles, different types, different price ranges. I mean, for years and years and years, all I've ever seen was ads for thousands and thousands and thousands. I mean, really?
True, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So make me feel really good in case I need some kind of a hearing device, even if I wanted to try it for 2 weeks.
We do have a great price range. We just introduced a new hearing instrument that is under $500, so a pair of them is under $1,000, and then we have technology level that goes up to about $6,000 a pair. So we've really got something for everybody.
So is the higher the price range more, I would say, intensive for somebody that's really got some bad hearing going on?
Not so much. It's more for the more active lifestyle person, because the difference being the higher level of technology is going to filter out more noise. It's going to be better in more environment, restaurants, churches with large, with high ceilings, that the acoustics might not be that great.
Okay.
So basically, you'll hear more of what you want to and less of what you don't want to with higher technology.
Thank you for explaining the difference there, because I've been around people that they must not have that that depth of perfection, so to speak, on a hearing aid, and you can tell that they're incensed or they're stressed because they're still not hearing the clarity of what somebody is saying. And I never would even think about that, being somewhere with high ceilings. Although being in TV, I know that echoes happen, and I don't even have any kind of hearing device on right now. But so how does somebody get started coming to see you?
First step is to schedule an appointment just for an evaluation to see if there's anything going on, or we'll take a look in your ear and see if it's just wax maybe is an issue. Then we go through the exam, and if there is an issue we can address, we'll program a set of hearing aids up, put them on the individual so they can automatically get an idea of what to expect. And then we go from there to see if it's something they want to check out, or if it's maybe not quite to the point yet that they're ready, maybe they want to, it's not bad enough to where they can actually wait a year or two. So it's.
I see. So you kind of give your customer that gauge to decide. Now, something just came to me. You have different levels of hearing devices, different price ranges, and if I'm hearing you correctly, what you said is that some of the other devices that have a higher technology, more cutting edge or whatever, is going to be giving better clarity. So let me ask you this. On the various designs, do you test them out so they can see the difference when they're there? Like, let's say plan A is this one. Let's test this out, and then go to plan B. Let's test it so that they can. Am I making sense?
You are making sense. What we have what's called a flex trial unit, where we can program a specific hearing aid for the different levels of technology. So if they're interested in this level, we don't have to demo them at this level, so that they get a better expectation of what they're going to hear like.
So at that, let's say that first level, you sell them on that, they try it and everything, and maybe they happen to go out, they're retired, and they're just going out partying, they're in all kinds of different environments. Is that going to accommodate them, or? No. Or maybe not.
We go into a whole lifestyle assessment
That's
initially.
what I'm looking for.
So we kind of, we get an idea of where they should be, and we make that recommendation. So if they choose something lower, then they can trial that to see if that's going to be good enough, and if it's not, and if they purchase, we have a 60-day window where if they have kind of buyer's remorse, I wish I would have got that when I went with this one, they can come in and just pay the difference and upgrade.
Oh, that's good to know. So I guess basically I'm thinking, you know, a lot of people love going on cruises, okay? Yes. They're out there, they're in the air, they're on the islands, and there's all kinds of different sounds going on. So basically, that's what you say about doing the lifestyle interview.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
For somebody going bungee jump, no, I'm just kidding. I mean, all these things are coming to my mind.
Well, we have golfers where wind may be an issue.
That's what I'm saying.
We have people that just get out a lot. They're very active, and they go to restaurants a couple times a day, maybe.
Yeah.
They're just in more difficult environments where, you know, they require a higher level of technology.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. So you say they start at right around under 500?
Per unit, correct, yes.
And now I also understand that the hearing devices today are almost invisible, that you can't even see them.
Yes, we have them that actually are invisible. They're about the size of the tip of your pinky.
Really?
Yeah, it's really amazing how small they have gotten.
That's pretty exciting. Let's talk about a word that I can never remember which way is to pronounce. You know where I'm going, right?
I think
right?
so,
tinnitus or tinnitus? Both, either?
Yes.
Anyway, it's ringing in the ears.
Both are acceptable, yes.
Okay.
It depends who you talk. And I've been in this business almost 27 years, and I can talk to two different people who have been in as long, and they both will pronounce it differently.
Yeah,
but it is,
yeah.
It's any sound that you hear. It could be ringing, buzzing, water running, wind rushing. Anything that you hear that's not going on is tinnitus or tinnitus.
Okay, so how do you help that with a device? What does that actually do?
Well, it usually occurs at the frequency with the greatest drop. So about 80% of the time when we correct that frequency, it covers it up. It masks it out. It's still there, but you don't hear it. The patient doesn't hear it. For the other 20%, we have what are called tinnitus maskers, where we can isolate the frequency within the programming and put a little bit of sound in there that will take their mind off of it. And over time, it can reduce what they actually hear. So it's kind of a retraining therapy.
And what's your success rate, depending on how extensive the ringing is or the buzzing?
Yeah, typically we don't have to use the maskers. Usually just correcting the loss will take care of it. So it's a pretty, like I said, about 80% without any extra sounds at all.
Is the starting costs up around under 500, or is it a little bit more than that?
The tinnitus masker, I believe, is even in the economy unit. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's in the full range.
Okay. So basically, if someone comes to you over at Connect Hearing and they want to test something out for a couple of weeks, and they can see, you know, what they think about that, and then come back and if they think they might want to upgrade, or did you say they can wear it for a little while, and if they wish they had upgraded, they can still do that?
Both ways. If they decide to purchase on the spot, then yes, we can. They can upgrade at any time for 60 days.
Okay.
Or if they want to do a trial, then we can go that route, and they can help them kind of pick which one before they buy.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, hearing is really detrimental, I mean, in the world, and down here in Florida, there's just so many different environmental situations that, you know, I'm so glad to hear, and I'm glad that we can convey that message to you all out there in the audience, that you know, check for lifestyles, because I haven't had to go for hearing yet. I might need to, so don't look at me like that.
We do recommend everybody over the age of 50 get a baseline test.
Oh boy, I'm 20 years past due, baby. I gotta get going. Well, I think I may have some referrals for you, actually, because I like what I'm hearing, if I'm hearing it correctly. Yeah, so good luck, and you've been doing this for a long time, so this isn't your first rodeo.
No.
Oh, that's
hardly.
Great. That's great. Well, I have to thank you, Anthony, for coming on board with us today and sharing with our viewers out there here with My Chamber TV, and you've been a member with the Chamber for a good little while?
I guess. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, but you are a member.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us, and thank you for joining us. More to come right here on My Chamber TV.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of our community. I am Barbara Marville Kelly. Thanks so much for joining us. We're here in Palm Harbor and we're featuring the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. And my next guest happens to be Debra Brown-Adamo. Did I get that right?
That's right.
And you're with Nannies Who Care. And I want you to share this with everyone because at first I thought maybe it was at-home health care, but it's an agency for child care in the home, in my home, right?
Correct.
So tell me about that.
Okay, so Nannies Who Care is full service nanny placement agency. So we've been in the Palm Harbor area for 29 years.
Really?
And but we also serve all of Tampa Bay, Sarasota, and Orlando. And families hire us to find a nanny to care for their children in their home. And we also provide nanny service at events like weddings or conventions. And we provide nanny service at hotels. So families that are staying on vacation and they want to have a date night, they can contact us for a nanny for a date night.
Oh, that's really great. You know, we were talking just before the segment about going online, looking for a nanny versus this hands-on, basically, is what you're about.
Right.
So the difference there can be, I can only imagine.
Yes. So we try to spend a lot of time on educating the public between an online list and using an agency like mine. So families sometimes go online and search for nannies themselves, or they use an online service which doesn't do a thorough background check. So it can give a false sense of security because they think they're getting a thorough background check when actually they're just getting a national database check, which anyone can do online. It's almost free. So we use a company that provides the background check for our nannies, and it's a criminal background check. They actually check any records, any place a nanny has lived, worked, or gone to school. And so in addition to the criminal check, we do a lot of other searching on the nanny, including driving record and sex offender check. And we have a relationship with our nannies. So it's very safe, it's secure. Our nannies we know well, and we have constant feedback from our clients.
What is the age group of the nannies that you have?
We don't accept anyone under 18, and it could be any age over that as long as they are physically able to care for children.
Okay, so do they go through physicals and that type of a thing?
They don't do an actual physical for our agency as part of the background check, but they do have to come in for a face-to-face interview.
Okay.
We meet with them, we check their references, and all of our nannies have to be met in person. So, and they'll also have to be sent out for CPR certification and first aid.
Okay, all right. Because I know, you know, when you're going to put someone in charge of your child, you want to make sure, I mean, this is probably a crazy question to ask, but how do we know that this nanny has a secure background check? I guess it's just based on the data, right?
Yes, in addition to the fact that we've been around for so long, a lot of our nannies we've placed before.
Okay.
So they have a history with our agency.
Good.
So we have feedback from our clients that use our service on a regular basis, because in addition to placing nannies on a permanent basis where someone might be a two-income family that needs to go out to work, we also do those simple date nights. So our nannies will have constant feedback from our clients regarding these nannies, and then we've placed them, many nannies we've placed 4 or 5 times because we've been around for so long.
You know, there's a lot to be said for that. How many years have you been in business?
29.
Okay, so listen up. This is really critical. Just like we've talked about other professionals that you want to, you know, contact professionals that are licensed and all that. It's no different than having child care for your child, because in today's day and age, it's really crazy. And I like what I'm hearing with the history that you've developed. You get to know your nannies. Now, another question for you. Do you match up the personalities with the families? Is there any kind of an interaction and engagement there?
Well, the families do have to fill out a 5-page application, so we do go in great detail, and we do provide an assessment with the family before we start sending the nannies over. However, I've been surprised many times over who the family has chosen as their nanny. So as long as the nanny meets the criteria and she lives in close proximity to the family and has the experience, we will refer them to the family and let them do an in-person interview and make their decision on their nanny.
Oh, that's good. So you're not picking and choosing for the family?
No, no. Only for date nights. So we have the last-minute calls. We sometimes provide nannies within an hour. So we do backup care. So in those cases, we do make the decision for the family because it's last minute and they need someone right away to care for their children.
I see. So you've already done the homework and the background checks, and you just make that decision, a management decision on the spot.
Yes.
So okay, let's talk a little bit, if we can, on, are you contractual or day by day, or how do you do that? Hourly?
Well, that's another thing that is important to know also, because when you hire a nanny, she's considered to be an employee, and some families pay their nanny. They're not paying their nanny legally, so it could be a problem for them, because if they don't do that, IRS could come back after them and start and fine them with penalties for not paying their nanny legally. So we do advise, and we also refer them to tax payroll companies that specialize in the nanny industry. So they can get advice, and they could use them if they choose to, or they can do it on their own.
So let me make sure I have this straight. So if a nanny is like, they have to go obviously through a certification or of some sort to become a nanny, or
They go through our background check.
Okay, so they go through that. This is really good to know. So if someone was wanting to have a nanny come in, they need to know that that may not work too well for them with the IRS if they don't go through a bona fide agency.
Correct.
Who knew? Did you know that? I didn't know that. That's cool. Of course, I don't have little kids, but.
And it's so important to know also that our nanny, we try to have fun in our agency as well. So we do nanny nights out with our nannies. We all get together. We go out to dinner. It's fun. We do provide training for our nannies. They come in and they have training days, and they get certifications for that training. So it's peace of mind for our families.
Oh, absolutely. So they do go through continuing education.
Yes.
It's probably good because they can.
Ongoing.
You can actually kind of collaborate on the various stories that goes on in different families. I mean, no two families are alike, right? And maybe do a little problem solving.
Yes.
And appreciation too.
We offer a lot of support.
Yeah,
because it's needed.
Our kids need the very best ever, and when families have to work, if they have to go out on a date night, which is really highly recommended, especially when two members when mom and dad's working, or single parents and things like that.
Right.
I mean, there's all kinds of different scenarios, and to take care of our kids, there are future generations to come here, so it's good for them to have the proper care, secured care that is safe for them as well.
Right.
So where are you, where's your agency?
In Palm Harbor. We're actually moving right across from the chamber. So.
Oh, really? Very good. How long have you been a member?
Well, I was a member of the chamber when I first started, and then there was a little gap in between, and I'm back again as of last week.
And how long? What made you go into this business? Do you have kids of your own?
I do, 3.
Yeah? How old are they?
So they are 30, 28, and 24.
So you just didn't have enough kids, right?
I love children. So.
And you know what? That's the answer. That's the passion. I'm glad to hear you say that. So what would you recommend to our viewers that are just thinking of checking around? And you know that's what we do, is we check around, we price shop, we do some comparison. What do we need to be asking before we choose you?
I would say check the competition, check the background screening that is done, make sure you get a copy of it, and make sure that we're a member of various organizations such as the International Nanny Association and the Association of Premier Nanny Agencies. We have standards and a code of ethics that we have to follow, and so it's important to know what agency, what their background is that you're dealing with.
That is excellent. And I never would have expected. I had no idea.
Most people don't.
No, because when I was raising my kids, I mean, they're in their 40s and almost 50s, and back then, their grandparents babysat them and watched them, or an aunt, right? So this is really important information. I'm so glad that we saved that for the very end, and you're just a delight. I wouldn't think twice of maybe handing my grandson over to you these days.
But we'd love to have him.
That will probably never happen. I want him all to myself, and I don't charge. But I want to thank you so much. You're a delight.
Thank you, Barbara.
All right, so think about it. Give her a call if you are in a nanny situation and you want to find really the best for your family. I think it's going to be a good mix for you, a good match. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be right back with our very last segment, so stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the community. We happen to be at the pulse of the community right here in Palm Harbor with Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly. With me is my co-host, Mr. Skip Alford. Welcome back again.
Great to be here as always.
We can't wait to do these shows on location, and we happen to be on location in Palm Harbor at X-Force Body with the owner, Iliana Stoilovia. Did I say that right?
Yes, correct.
Awesome. And I know you can't wait to sing her praises because you are fit and cut and ready to go, right?
A lot of it's right sitting next to me, all the hard work and dedication and everything that you're seeing around you. I utilize it twice a week with that training that she provides me, and it has just made a world of difference physically and mentally, spiritually, everywhere around.
And when did you start?
About 6 months ago.
6 months ago. Why did you come here?
Well, Illy is very good about supporting this Chamber of Commerce. She comes to events and she's active, and she asked me if I would like to come in for a workout. Well, I had been working at another local gym, which there's many around. However, something about this intrigued me because it's machines and it was just quaint, and I like the fact that she was offering me a chance to do something I'd never done before. And being 58 years old and knowing that I want to stay in good shape, basically accepted Illy's her request for me to come in and do a workout. And after the first one, I knew I loved it.
It resonated right away.
Loved it,
right?
loved it. What's unique about the way that they do things here is she has a fantastic team. What you get at X-Force Body that separates her workouts in this system from everybody else is the personal touch. You just don't get that from other local gyms. You go in and it's kind of up to you how hard you're going to work out and how much effort you put into it. Well, when you sign up here, you have somebody that is there with you. It's almost like having a personal trainer, but along with a system that is invigorating, that challenges you, that works your muscles in such a way that they become thick, strong at any age. I'm 58. And I'm probably in as good a shape right now as when I was 28.
Oh, I understand. That's easy to understand. And also to have a concept where you can come in, you make an appointment, and you have the privacy where it's not a cookie cutter. And I don't mean that disrespectful to other gyms. You have a uniqueness, and I think today the boomers and above are looking for uniqueness because we've been there, done it with those gyms. We've even managed to get hurt at some of them, if you will. So that one-on-one is really critical. What made you open up a gym like this? Tell us your whole ideas on what your vision was here.
This concept actually is not new. It goes back to 70s with the Nautilus concept, which was Arthur Jones is the inventor of Nautilus, and it's all about safe, efficient, and proper way of strength training. So there's, like you said, there's thousands of ways to hurt yourself in the gym. Here, we do it safely, meaning orthopedically safely, no matter what kind of injuries, back, knees, shoulders, it is safe. The intensity is really high of the workout, but there's no impact on the joints. And we achieve that with the supervision, educated trainers, and it's the best. It is the best.
Well, I want to back up Illy there real quick, Barbara, because a couple of years ago I had a horrendous accident, a four-wheeler accident down in the Everglades.
Yeah.
And I literally tore all the ligaments off my right knee, smushed my meniscus, and fractured my tibia, and went through a lot of physical therapy. But I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to walk correctly again, and went to treadmills and things like that, and walked and got to where I could move around pretty good. But this workout, as Illy is stating, it's so personalized, and the people that are watching you are making sure you're doing the exercises properly. That's the beauty of it. You have somebody watching you, making sure you keep your arms in, or that your legs straight, or your head up, and all of these things allow you to get the maximum effectiveness out of the workouts. Because a couple of weeks ago, I got on the leg press machine and pressed 480 pounds 7 times, and I have never in my entire life been able to do that, even when I was young in the military, in pretty good shape then. So you're taking somebody at 58 that's had a horrific injury and doing a workout so well and so properly that I am actually getting stronger while losing a lot of weight.
That is a testimonial that I personally needed to hear, because as you know, I supposedly have a torn meniscus. And I did that 3 months ago, and I've been going to PT with supervision and all of that, plus some alternative things. I had no idea. There's so many people are having injuries out there, and I was on a walker for 3 weeks, so I've gained an additional 5 pounds, maybe even more than I would like to. I'm not unfamiliar to the gyms, but I have been injured by working with some trainers and injuring my neck and things like that. So everybody wants to work out if they can do it safely. So walk me through a day, the first day that we come to you, Illy.
The first day ever is we meet and we learn about you, your goals, your desires, your dreams even. Because it can be just simply, I just want to get fit, I just want to lose weight.
Right.
There's a way deeper reason why you want to do it. Whether it's you want to be strong enough to play with your grandchildren, you want to be able to go skydiving when you're 90, or there's a bigger driver there, right? So we learn all of this. We learn about your fitness level, your injuries, and basically how we can make it work for you. And then you learn about the program, everything from how many times a week you train, how long are the workouts. There's certain things that we require you to do outside of here, and we keep you accountable, like drinking a gallon of water a day, sleeping 8 hours a night. Meal plan, we give you a meal plan that was, the program is based on research that was done, and actually we even have a book that's published by Women's Health and Men's Health magazine, The Body Fat Breakthrough, and it's proven to work. Right? And we keep you accountable, not only during the 30 minutes that you're here, but after the workout, we sit down on this orange bench and we say, how are you doing with the meal plan? How is sleep? Are you walking 30 minutes every day? Right? So it becomes a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it's, we are your accountability partner, we are your guide, right? You're the hero, and whatever you want to achieve and win in your life, we're the guide helping you go there. So.
And that's really the first time I've heard this. No wonder you're getting some great results, because you can join any gym. You might be accountable to go to the gym, but if you don't have the follow-through 24/7 with proper rest, right? Getting into a deep REM sleep, drinking enough water. We realize how many people are walking around here dehydrated.
Absolutely true.
And then they keel over, they're at the emergency room. What happened? You're dehydrated. Well, I drink a glass of water a day. No.
Or people feeling proud, I work so much, I sleep only 4 hours a night. Guess what? Our conversation will be way more fun if you got 8 hours last night, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're not, it's almost like your body goes into this reset during the night.
Sure.
And if you don't get enough sleep, you're not resetting your body. You're not at your ultimate performance ability, right? And actually 99% of the muscle building, what we try to do here, is happening while you're sleeping.
Yeah,
right?
It's repairing.
Yeah, with building the muscle, we speed up the metabolism.
Yes.
The metabolism becomes young again.
Yes,
And most people believe that gaining fat comes natural with age. oh, it's the way it's supposed to be. My pants are going to get bigger size as I age.
They're accepting that.
Yeah, and they think that's the norm. No, it's not.
No, it's not the norm.
And we have the solution, and it's the honest solution.
Yes.
Because we tell you, you come in only twice a week. We've had clients ask me, can I come 3 times, 4? No. Twice a week, because the recovery is the most important part.
That works for me. You're coming twice a week.
Twice a week, and Barbara, I can further prove it that it works, because my wife just found my Dillard's bill, where I had to go spend a substantial amount of funds buying an entire new wardrobe.
She found your...
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
She found my Dillard's bill that I had to go get an entire new set of clothing.
Oh, you poor thing.
Breeches that were 36 in the waist now are 32, 33. You know, leaner, smaller. My shirts looked like they were extra large, and now in golf shirts I'm wearing mediums.
See that?
And the beauty of it is, right now I'm weighing about 195 pounds, and 6 months ago when I started, I think I weighed close to 230. So what she's talking about, the accountability issue, is real important, because every workout, at the end of that workout, they sit you right there and ask you these questions, and you're at a point where you can't lie about it, because your workouts reflect that, for one thing.
Oh, yeah.
So it's better to be honest, and I'm honest, because the Chamber of Commerce can sometimes bring stress.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I have, some hours. So I'm honest with the responses. But what I've found out is that if you take what they're telling you to do, it's worth it. It's worth it to, if you're going to invest in yourself and invest in a workout. This is so important to do it the proper way, and to follow the proper diet, and to drink the amount of water and get the rest that you need. You know, there's a certain amount of things that people allow, you know, to steer them to making a certain decision. You know, a lot of times it's cost. Well, you know, a long time ago, and I know this might sound kind of silly, but I was riding a motorcycle and I needed a helmet. And I went in to buy a helmet, and there were 4 different types ranging from $50 to $500. And I was asking the guy, you know, about the helmets, and well, this one's made out of Kevlar and all these special materials. I said, how much is it? And he goes, well, it's about $500. I'm like, ouch, how much is this one? Well, these are made out of these smaller, less protective materials. Guess which one I bought when he said, how much is your head worth to you? Well, I bought the $500 one because my head was worth $500. It was worth the best.
That's a good point.
So when you're investing in yourself, you need the best training and you need the best support.
That's right.
And that's why I believe in this just as strongly as Illy does.
Well, thank you. I know we're running out of time, but I could sit here and talk about health, fitness, anti-aging, and all that. I've never seen a gym like this, and I'm so glad that you're a member of the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce, and you are making your clients accountable. And it's really up to you. Make those choices. And you brought up some very good points, what our dreams are, what our goals are. I want to heal this so that I can get back on the floor with my grandson and play with him. I'm healing my meniscus because I want to dance again. And I want only the very best of the best because I know I deserve it. I want to thank you so much. You're going to see me in this gym, and I'm just going to test myself out.
I'm looking forward.
Skip.
Barbara, quick question. How much time do we have left, John?
About 10 seconds. 3 seconds. Oh, 30 seconds. Go fast.
Jason, go give me the big thing of yellow up there real fast, real fast. This is the best way I can drive home the fantastic nature of this facility. And you're fixing to see it right now. Because in the last...
Oh, boy.
Here we go. In the last...
Tiny little fat.
This is 5 pounds of fat. This is what 5 pounds of fat looks like in our bodies. And in 6 months of working out here, I've lost 5 of these.
5 of those.
5.
So you're telling me that I gained 5 pounds and I got this somewhere, either here or in the backside. Oh my gosh. Get this out of here. Thanks for joining us, everyone. My Chamber TV.